Hello and welcome to another At Home with Dan. On this episode I'm going to be bringing you my favourite childhood dessert, and it is a really beautiful apple crumble. I'm doing mine slightly differently. I'm going to put some rhubarb in there as well, mainly just because I've got a rhubarb out in the garden and I've just done the first harvest on it a couple of days ago. So basically we need two things. We need the base, so the fruit compote side, and we need the crumble topping. So for the fruit compote side, I've got Bramley apples here, and Bramley apples are the cooking apples essentially, so they cook down nicely, they give you a really nice kind of consistency. So I've already peeled these and I'm just going to roughly chop them up into the dish. So don't worry, I'm not leaving them that big. So cut them down into small chunks. Right, so that's all the apple chopped up, just nice rough chunks in there. I'm just going to take my rhubarb. My rhubarb is actually frozen because as soon as it comes out of the garden I wash it and stick it in the freezer. So I'm just going to pop that into there. Just give it a little bit of a mix around. Right, so that's all our fruit in our casserole dish, all mixed in nicely. What I'm going to do is just take about 50 grams of caster sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle that over. So 50 grams is about 2 heaped tablespoons, so I'm just going to do 3 level tablespoons. 3 guesses as to what coffee I use. Fantastic for ingredients. I've got so many ingredients in these glass jars. Brilliant to keep a hold of. So that's our fruit in a dish. Sugar, tap it through and the sugar goes through. Simple as that. So for the crumble topping in here, I've got my plain flour. Plain flour, I'm just going to add to that some butter. And what we're going to do is using the rubbing in method with our fingers and thumbs, we're just going to rub those together to get a kind of nice breadcrumb consistency. So I've been mixing this for about 3 or 4 minutes now and I'm almost there. All the butter's incorporated into the flour. Got a nice breadcrumb consistency. So hopefully you can kind of see that consistency there, nice breadcrumb consistency. Now I'm going to add the sugar. With my recipe I do it slightly differently. I use 2 different types of sugar, and I do a 50-50 mix of caster sugar and soft brown sugar. And you don't need to, you can just use caster sugar, but the soft brown sugar just gives it a really nice kind of like depth of flavour, like a treacly flavour. It just really adds to that flavour. So I'm just going to give that a good mix in to the breadcrumb. It's a really good mix together so all that sugar is evenly mixed through. And then one final ingredient for me, which again it's an optional ingredient, you don't need to do it. I just think it gives it a nice extra texture, like it's something different. It's just some porridge oats. So just put those in. And it just gives it like a little bit of a crunch. So that's our crumble mix. Take our dish with the fruit in and basically just pour the mix over the top. Push it down into the sides. So as you can see, this is a really simple preparation. It's a fantastic kind of Sunday lunch dessert. And if you've got a garden with apples and berries and rhubarb, you can do whatever mix you want, any flavour combinations. Right, so that's my crumble on top. Now that's the crumble ready for the oven. We've got the crumble topping on top of all the fruit. Everything's ready to go in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 160 degrees. It's going to take around about 30 to 40 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'm going to take it out of the oven and just sprinkle some soft brown sugar on top, and what that's going to do is just going to slightly crystallise and give it a nice crunch on top. At the same time as that, I'm going to turn the oven up to 180, so the last 10 minutes of the cooking process is going to be on a higher temperature, and it's just going to turn everything really nice and golden and give it that beautiful finish. So we're just going to go straight into the oven with that. I'll come back to that in 30 minutes. I'll turn the oven up, I'll sprinkle it with sugar, and then we'll see what it looks like after the 40 minutes. Right everybody, so 40 minutes have passed, the crumble is ready in the oven. Just to take that out. So, there we go. You can see the fruit from underneath is bubbling up and trying to get through the crumble. Crumble's gone nice and golden brown. The brown sugar that I put on top after 30 minutes has gone really nice and crystallized. All that we need to do now is serve it. So, take yourself a little spoonful. So the fruit should be nicely cooked down and stewed down. Crumble nice and crunchy. And then you're free to serve it with whatever you want, ice cream, custard. I don't have either of those, so I'm just going to go with some pouring cream. And there we go guys, fruit crumble. Nice and easy one to do, fantastic for a Sunday lunch. Hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy cooking, happy cooking guys, take care, and I'll see you next time.